Hello, 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 welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today I have my XION e-bike on the motorcycle dyno, and we're gonna see what this thing puts down and what we can get out of it after some upgrades. So this bike I purchased from Luna Cycles last year, and since then the only things I've done to the bike are I put these Flow wheels on. These are 12-inch mini moto wheels from Flow Wheels. You guys go check them out. I put a Warp 9 42 tooth sprocket on it, and then I did the Warp 9 foot pegs and the peg brace. I'm trying to think if I did anything else. I just did small stuff like added a headlight switch, because normally these bikes the headlight is always on, so I added this little push button switch from Amazon to turn on and off the headlight so it's not on all the time. But other than that, the bike is completely stock. It has a fairly fresh charge on the battery, and we're going to see what kind of power it puts down completely stock. And then after that, we're going to be putting some goodies in from Shock Bikes. So Shock Bikes hooked it up with a EBMX 72 volt battery. So this is a 72 volt 42 amp hour battery, and then I opted to get their charger as well. This thing's been on the charger for like maybe 25-30 minutes, and I got the battery at 50% charge, and it's currently already at 85 after about 30 minutes of charging. So the charger is pretty decent. I wanted to get the battery and charger from the same place just to make sure everything was like compatible and whatever. And Shock Bikes, SHOCK bikes.com is where I got this. They're the US distributor for EBMX. These guys are out of Australia. And then for controlling the added power, we got a BAC 8000 controller. This is from Accelerated Systems Incorporated. These, I don't know, they're just the beast of controller. You can get the 4000, but I just went straight for the 8, just because we like horsepower around here. So I got the controller and the display and the updated adjustable controller thingy majiggy here. I got all this from XION Bikes. They're based out of California, and they actually make their own custom e-bikes. I think they actually have like one of the longest range e-bikes. It goes like 100 and some miles on a charge. I got the controller and the display and the tune from them. So they pre-tune these controllers for the battery and throttle setup you're using. So we're going to be installing all that today. And then last but not least, this is an NTC Designs bracket to hold the BAC 8000 controller. So we're going to get all this stuff installed, but first we got to see what this bike puts down completely stock. And then after we get all these parts installed, we're going to see how much power we really can gain on a XION. I think the electric industry in general is kind of on the come up, and you don't piss your neighbors off too bad ripping down the street. You could probably do a 60 mile an hour 300 foot rolling burnout, and they'd probably just look like it was I don't know, but I will always be a hot rod, gearhead, internal combustion type of guy.
Don't let him lie to you. He'll buy a Tesla next year.
No. So yeah, let's see what this thing puts down. We already got it, the computer set up for the dyno. All right, so I just turned the key on. We got it in sport mode. Should we do a run in eco?
Ooh, I don't know about all that jazz.
So we're gonna do it in sport mode and see what she does. The problem is it spins on the dyno. We don't have any straps, so I just have to sit on it with all my girth. We're gonna do one more, just to back it up, see if it repeats the same power. Should I do a rolling start?
Yes. Put it at like around 1500 RPM and then give it to about 9.
Look at those little tiny pads.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be roached out by the end of this. All right, so the results are in. I did do 2 runs last night when the battery was like a little bit more charged, and we ended up with about 6 to 6.5 horsepower, and today with a little bit less charge we're still at 6 and then 6.29. It seems like the second run makes like a little bit more power for some reason. I don't know if, you know, the bike just warms up or something.
I feel like it just things are like very, very shy on the torque, but like it feels.
Well, the problem is we can't see torque because we don't have an RPM pickup. So since it's electric, we don't know how much. I mean, we probably could do an RPM pickup once we get that display in, because that will tell us motor RPM, I'm pretty sure. But the stock stuff doesn't show it. So we just have horsepower, but 6 to 6.5 horsepower. I don't know how much torque. I wish I did, but we're going off power. And top speed right around 47 miles an hour. I've gotten like 50 out of the bike, but today she only wants to do 48.
Downhill.
Also, the wheels and whatnot are changing the gearing compared to what the stock tires are. The stock tires are a lot larger. That's why I went with a smaller rear sprocket to kind of accommodate for the gearing, but it's not exactly stock gearing. It's a little bit geared down, but it shouldn't really make that much of a difference for power. And we just want to see like what these mods are going to do, how much power we're going to gain. So without further ado, we're going to get the new mods installed. All right, so first things first, I'm going to get the battery taken out, flip the breaker off, and then unplug the 2 connections, and this guy should lift right out. There we go. It's completely stock Sur-On battery. I'll probably sell this. And then, well, it looks like we got to take off some bolts to remove the stock controller. And then we're also going to remove the stock display over here. Stock controller, get that out of there. And there is instructions right here from NTC that you can scan with a QR code. I did not, however, get instructions with the stuff from XION bikes. So I might have to refer to some other people's YouTube videos. And then for installing the battery, we're not going to do that right away, but we do have a little bracket here that replaces the stock bracket. So this lifts the lid, and it'll probably be flush with the seat when we're done, which actually, in my opinion, is probably going to look better than it way down here. So, because this is an aftermarket float seat from Luna Cycles, place I got the bike. So yeah, I'm gonna see what we gotta all take apart. All right, so we got all the factory battery, factory controller, and this tilt sensor, all this removed, and the factory display in the horn. Took all that off, and now we're almost done installing the BAC 8000 with the bracket. So we got all the wires hooked up here, and we're about to tuck it up, and then button everything else back up. What's wrong, Trevor?
Tired.
Yeah, so am I. So we got it all installed. Definitely took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but BAC 8000 is all tucked up in there with all the wiring harnesses and stuff. Some extra plugs that we're not using for like the brake switches. I deleted the horn. And yeah, this battery was very tight going in. We definitely had to butter it up with some jipe, and and we definitely put our gunt into it to get it down. But got the extended latch on there, and we just put the XION display and the gear indicator, or whatever the mode selector is on here. So now we turn the key, and we have the EBMX battery is completely full. I don't know if it picks up on camera. 100% battery. We got it all charged up. And then this is the indicator for the new controller. So we hit power. Boom. You can configure a lot of this stuff. I have to figure all that out because I really don't know what I'm doing. But there is like mode 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm assuming 5 is all the balls. So we're gonna dyno it. I haven't even ridden this bike yet. We are going to test it out on the dyno in mode 5 and see what happens. Do you want to film or? Yeah. Doesn't matter. You can? Okay.
Yes.
So, literally haven't ridden it or anything yet, but we're going to start a new dyno run and see if we can get this thing, see what kind of power we can make. It definitely sounds pissed off. I really enjoy the new display that's on here. All right, you want to hit the space bar, Trevor? We're in mode 5. Here we go. Only 14?
14?
I figured it would make a little more.
It's about double? A little more than double.
It is, yes. But Jack's BAC, Jack Cecil, his BAC 8000 made like 20 horsepower.
Did you want to try again?
Should we try again?
What
Okay.
mode were you on when
5.
you were dropping it earlier, though?
Should we try 3 or 4?
I'm just curious what mode you were in before when you were wrapping it.
We're gonna try again. Let's try again. Yep, we'll try again.
At least it's consistent.
Huh. Well, we made 14.5 horsepower. It hooked up that time too. I think I saw like 2,500 watts or something on here when I was flooring it. And that was like almost 70 miles an hour. So it shouldn't be too bad. I might hit up XION bikes and see if there's more power to be had in this thing, because I want more than 15 horsepower. But we'll see how it rides with 15 horsepower and play around with the modes. There might be like, I might be in one of the wrong modes. So maybe I'll go ride it around and figure out what mode is the fastest.
Not shitty.
Not shitty. So this is a little weird. We were playing around with some of the modes and I was holding the minus button, which I think is supposed to put it in like park or something. That's park. I'm holding the minus button and it's moving. I think it just puts resistance on the motor maybe to like hold it.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's normal. If we tap the power button, it goes through odometer, time, and range. And then back to trip. Well, maybe we'll have to dyno it in mode 2 or something and see what happens. Oh boy, them tires ain't gonna last long.
Nope.